Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I'm talking about exercise. Today was actually, and I'm cooking at the same time. So I hope you don't mind hearing me do some shopping here. But basically I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about exercise and PCOS. One of the biggest things I struggle with sometimes is getting off the wagon in terms of being consistent with exercise. But I think it's a way of recognizing that maybe my body just needs a break sometimes, and I think that's totally okay. We don't always have to be perfect in terms of, managing our PCOS, but today I wanted to talk a little bit about exercise because it's the first day in quite a long time that I've actually been able to get my weights out and start exercising today. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what's good in terms of what you should consider for exercising and insulin resistance and PCOS and balancing these hormones that can be out of balance when it comes to PCOS. For those of you joining here, thanks so much for being on with me. I'm just cooking in between patients and I wanted to come on here to maximize my time to talk about exercise. There's a few things I've actually learned in the last few years actually about exercise and glucose utilization. One of the biggest things is there's this whole theory of, I don't know if you've seen online, but that high intensity interval training can be, backfire on a lot of women who have PCOS. And I think one of the issues with that comment is that it's not the case for all women with PCOS. What I would, really get you to look into is to see how you feel after an exercise. If you're doing a high intensity interval training exercise and you actually feel pretty good after and you're not feeling tired and burnt out, this exercise might be perfectly fine for you. Sometimes we do see that it can impact the adrenal glands, and these are the glands that sit on top of the kidneys that release cortisol or stress hormone. And if we find that the workout is a little bit too intense and you're not noticing any change in terms of how you feel and how your clothes fit, then maybe the exercise is a little bit too intense for you. So going back to things like walking, yoga, those types of exercises might be better. The other thing I wanted to say to that is that there is a lot of research on high intensity interval training exercise for PCOS. And if you're finding that it actually works for you, then, maybe just keep going with it and see how it feels. And if it ends up being too much or you're not noticing a change, maybe something needs to change in terms of the exercise. One of the best types of exercises that can be done for PCOS and insulin resistance is working out our leg muscles. These are the biggest muscles in our body, and the most amount of glucose can actually get into these muscles. So doing things like squats, lunges, deadlifts, calf raises, all of these types of exercises can really help when it comes to insulin resistance and abdominal weight gain. So we don't need to be doing just cardio, but working on those big muscle groups in the legs can be really helpful here. Another thing that I want to say is the time at which you should be working out. Should you, do an hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? What does it look like? Do you have to be doing a 2-hour workout every, week in terms of 4 times a week, going to the gym and staying there for 2 hours? You don't actually. At the very beginning, if you're just starting out, I would go slower and just work your way up. This is how you're gonna see that it's gonna be more sustainable for you for the long term. But one of the things that I find is if you haven't done any training at all, or you're just starting up again, say you've taken a break for 3 months even, or 2 months, go slow, go as slow as you can. Today, I used 5-pound weights on each arm and I only really did 1 set. So that's like 10 minutes and I already felt it. And I know it's because I just need time to rebuild my body back up, especially after having a child. So I'm taking it slow. I was doing a lot of walking, but now that she's in school, I'm sitting at my desk again. And I'm finding that I need to get my body moving again. So doing some exercises beside my desk is really helpful. So how many sets should you be doing? At least 1 to 3 sets of 15 reps. At the 15 to 20 mark rep, that's when we're actually getting the most amount of glucose utilization. This is what I've learned from a personal trainer who focuses on PCOS and who's also a naturopathic doctor, which is really interesting. I didn't know that, which is really cool. So, you know, find the exercises that work for you, work on those leg muscles, start out slow, and don't go too fast. If you're finding that you're tired after high intensity interval training, you need to change it up. And I hope some of these tips can really help get you started. In the comments below, let me know what you're doing in terms of exercising and how it's helping. And next week, to let you know, I'm doing an online webinar. It's called 3 Powerful Ways to Rethink Your PCOS. I'm going to be talking a lot about insulin resistance and really ways that, or things that we might be thinking of in terms of PCOS, and people, and what people are talking about online may not be the best when it comes to PCOS, and I'm going to really break it down for you there. I'm also going to be talking about my online PCOS course, Your PCOS Planner, for ways that you can work with me, and I hope I'll see you there. It's next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be recorded. For those of you who signed up, you'll get the recording, and I hope I'll see you there. Bye!